Have you ever thought to yourself, what do I truly believe? You may be of a certain religion, you may be of a certain sect, or whatever it may be, but what is it that I truly believe? If you don't know who I am already, my name is Michael Tabirade, high performance coach and mentor, and I help self-starters and ambitious professional millennials increase their productivity, enhance their performance, realize their priorities, and live their life on purpose. Now, if this is the first time you've come to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, my friends, all the links are in the description below. Now, let's get into the video. Now, what is it to believe? Okay. If you look at the definition, really and truly, a belief is an assumption that you hold to be true. Okay. Based on experiences of the past. So that's quite telling if you ask me, because throughout our lives, we've been told we can do this or we can do that, or we can't do this and we can't do that. You should do this and you shouldn't do that. All these different things come into our mindset. Okay. And these different things that happen are usually from significant others, such as our parents, our siblings, our teachers, our friends, significant others, significant people. And this process, okay, of conditioning is known as introjection. It's where people are just really pumping these different ideas into you. And so the reality of the situation is that we have to be in a position where we can truly examine ourselves and accept the things that we want to accept and keep, and get rid of the stuff that we don't want to accept. And so we have to really, really think about, what do we believe? Now, what do we believe, should I say? Our beliefs come from assumptions, okay? Because assumptions are lightly held beliefs. So an accumulation of all these different assumptions end up being beliefs. And those beliefs end up being attitudes, okay? The habits, the tendencies that we start to develop. And those attitudes turn into mindset. The mindset being the established set of attitudes that one has. Now, many of you watching this may have already watched or listened to or read the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, okay? Where she goes deep into this, two-pronged attack with the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So the fixed mindset being that you're very sort of stuck in your ways. You're not looking to budge. What you do is what you do, and that's it. Who you are is who you are. You can't change, etc., etc. Whereas with the growth mindset, much more adaptable, much more on their think, much more intelligent by nature. And when I say intelligent, looking at their data, okay, around them in their environment and knowing how to sort of like maneuver. So the growth mindset is a different way of thinking and being. Now, of course, we have both in some way, shape or form, but essentially there are dominant traits that we have. You're either more predisposed to the fixed mindset or more predisposed to the growth mindset, okay? Now, it sounds like we should all be sort of like growth mindset, but what are you truly right now? I know we want to be that, okay? We may want to be that, but what are you truly right now? Really and truly. It's a situation why you're not progressing or moving forward, because you're a fixed mindset person, okay? Is it the fact that you haven't been able to really understand what you truly believe? Is it because people have conditioned you to think about things a certain way continuously again and again and again? What is it? And there's no point me asking these questions if you're not going to try and address some of them, because at the end of the day, questions are the answer. Questions are the answer. And so the point of this video is to really examine what we truly believe. I know there are many people within different sort of like religious communities, such as Christianity or Islam or Hinduism or Buddhism, depending on what you believe, but they haven't necessarily challenged what religion has told them. And I think, in many ways, a lot of the teachings actually tell you that you need to be able to not necessarily challenge it, but at least it has to connect with your heart. And what I'm saying is you have to truly fundamentally get to a point where you can connect with a belief system because you believe it. You truly do believe it. Not because it was passed on from family to family or generation to generation, known as transgenerational habits, okay? Telling ourselves beautiful lies. All I'm saying to you is that be firm with your beliefs so that you know you believe them, and not because it's part of this process of introjection. We can't help that completely, but we can get to a point of better managing what we believe so that when we are in difficult times, when we are in challenging situations, we know how to overcome these different things. Because it stemmed from us, okay? The source, rather from external means. they talk about this in motivational psychology all the time. If it comes from an internal base, i.e. from self, rather than from an external base, then you're more likely going to be driven to move forward. It all connects. It all connects in the center. And so think about what you believe. Think about what things truly mean to you. Look back at your past and understand what the hallmark experiences are. And from there, be firm in your values and or your beliefs. And some people may say, well, for those people who have values, okay, who stick to their values, aren't they in a fixed mindset, so to speak? Yeah, to some degree they are. Of course they are. But values are not forever. They change based on the context of the situation. And they're universal by nature, so to speak, and not just predicated based on the past. Although you can use the past to help you understand what is important to you, what your needs are as an individual. So hopefully this has given you some insight in terms of what you truly believe. Really think about these different things and really get to a point of understanding, okay? I may do a part 2 to this, or at least expand on this in a different video. Anyway, take care, God bless, and hopefully you enjoy videos like this. And if you do, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.